Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel. My name is Rachel Parker. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am an Anglican priest in the Anglican Church of Canada in the Diocese of Edmonton in the beautiful province of Alberta. My churches are located at St. Thomas Wainwright, St. Mary's in Edgerton, and soon to be St. Saviour's in Vermilion, in sort of the southeastern corner of Alberta. Beautiful, beautiful place to live and work. Beautiful people to live and work with. I have been sharing a bit of my story of the last 2 weeks, from the last 2 weeks, about my husband's diagnosis of heart failure and things that have been happening. And throughout that time, I have been posting on Facebook unexpected graces, things that were happening every day that I could pay attention to and really recognize the hand of God at work, whether it was God, the absolute miracle of us not getting on a plane that would have killed my husband. Even him, even if he hadn't been killed, going to a wedding where he would have caught COVID, which definitely would have killed him. But other things like God working through the hands and the attitudes and the minds of the nurses and all of the staff, right to all the people who came in to clean his room and the porters who brought his food. Every single person was working, I believe, as the hands and feet of God in the time he was in hospital. One of the unexpected graces for me was a place called Valour Place. Now, when Rob first went into the hospital by ambulance on the Thursday, the 22nd, 22nd of September, I went online and I booked a hotel, the Holiday Inn Conference Center, and God bless them, when I got there, I already had a good rate. I picked the cheapest rate I could find as a member of IHG, little plug for Holiday Inn. But when I told them that it was there for a medical reason, they inputted that onto my receipt, into my account. It didn't lower the rate, but what it did do was allowed that to be a receipt that I could use then for purposes of being reimbursed by the military, which is a gift that they give for people in situations like this. But then after my time at the hotel, I was able to go to this beautiful, beautiful place called Valour Place. And it's like kind of like a dorm, a really fancy dormitory. You come in the front doors and there's beautiful, beautiful living room to the right. Looks very, very southern, big couches, and there's a big massive chess table with ornaments that, or the pieces are all made of brass and they're all military things. And on the left, there are three long tables. It kind of reminds me of a miniature Hogwarts where the kids, Harry Potter and his friends, would eat, with a beautiful fireplace and dim, mood lighting, and it's where people would gather and eat. And then through those doors, there was this giant kitchen with fridges where people who were staying there could put their food in there, but also what they called a house kitchen. So there'd be food that was left over or food that was purchased that people could just use, and big stoves where people could make meals, and a big couch and a TV and a water cooler. And in the basement, there's a workout space, and there's play area for kids, and a TV and VCR, DVD. And then these rooms, beautiful rooms, a queen size bed, the desk and a TV, and a nice big bathroom with a handicapped accessible shower and a chair to sit in. And it's meant, Valor Place, it was created to be a place for people, for families who have medical appointments or medical situations arise, whose family members are active service duty members of the military or veterans, or and also first responders, firefighters, police, paramedics, and the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So that's I think that would be like in the States, I think they do what the FBI would do, but it's also a policing agency in itself. And lots of provinces don't have provincial police. We use the RCMP. So it's a place that they can go to. And it's pretty close to the Royal Alexandra Hospital, but it's not very far from the other ones either. And for no cost whatsoever, families, military members, or families of military members can go there and have a place to make a meal, to sit down at a table and relax and eat their meal and go clean through their dishes, but then have a room to go to and just crash. And there's outside doors, so you don't have to come in through the main doors if you're coming in at 2 in the morning from the hospital or something. But they gave me a place to stay. So from Monday right through Saturday. Even after Rob was discharged, he came with me to Valour Place because I was a little bit nervous about driving back to Wainwright after he was discharged. I just wanted to take a day or two to make sure I wasn't going to have to take him back to the hospital. And there's no charge. They didn't ask me for a cent. It's kind of like a Ronald McDonald House for military and first responders. And probably the best part about it was the fact that one evening after I'd brought Rob on Friday night after I brought Rob, he was having a nap. And I went in to do the laundry. They have laundry facilities there for free too. And there were a bunch of ladies sitting around, and we just started talking, and I realized I wasn't alone. Each of these people had their own stories. One woman had been there for months. Another woman, her son, she was ex-military. Her son was in a car accident. He was in a coma. And he'd just come out of the coma. And he has months of rehabilitation. And she is his closest family member. So she will be staying there for many, many months until her son can come home. All out of the goodness of people's hearts, because people support Valour Place. Every year there's like a walkathon, or like a marathon for those who like to run, to raise money for Valour Place. And guess what I'll be doing next year, folks? They absolutely deserve my support, and I will be giving it to them. And that was an unexpected grace because I didn't even realize that it existed. I think I'd heard about it before, but never really thought, hey, I count. My husband's in the hospital in Edmonton and he's in the military, so I should get to go there. But they were absolutely phenomenal. Good people. Well, we had a phone call yesterday afternoon asking Rob, to show up at the Mazankowski, which is the heart hospital in Alberta, or in Edmonton. It's the place you want to be if you have heart problems, to come in for a cardiac MRI. And this is a machine that will go all around his body and take pictures, three-dimensional pictures from every angle of his heart, which we're hoping, give us some answers as to what happened, because he didn't have a heart attack. He didn't have a cardiac event. He doesn't have any blockages in his arteries. So we still don't know what happened, or how much damage has been done, or what the possibilities of recovery might be. But this cardiac MRI may give us some answers. I'm not, I'm not a betting woman. I'm not going to lay my paycheck on the line here that it will. But I'm praying that it will. I'm really praying that it's going to show us that some of the damage is beginning to heal now that he's under care. I know it's only been a few days with his medications and stuff, but miracles can happen. But we have to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning in Edmonton, and it's about a 2.5 hour drive. So if he has to check in by 7, it means we got to be there by 6:30. And said rather than getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and going to Edmonton, we are going to put the dog in the kennel again, just for one night this time, in Vermilion, and we are going to go and stay at Valour Place. And they had a room for us, and they were more than welcoming when I gave them a call, and they have been absolutely phenomenal. This is an unexpected grace. I think one of the things that the last couple of weeks has taught me is to be more aware of those things around me. I mean, whenever the Heart and Stroke Foundation people used to come to the door, I'd give them $20 and say thank you and take the receipt for income tax purposes. I never really thought much about it. I should have. My father has had heart issues. My mom has heart issues now. But it never really occurred to me how close to home it could get. So the Heart and Stroke Foundation is becoming something I'm learning more about. They even have this incredible Facebook group for people. There's a group for people who are experiencing heart failure or stroke, things like that. And they also have a Facebook group for people who are caregivers, or the people who are supporting the patient. And I'm finding that really helpful. These things that I never expected were even out there. Somebody already thought of them. Valour Place, these Facebook groups, they're out there, and they're accessible for people who need them. And that is absolutely incredible. Unexpected graces. Somewhere along the line, God put it into the heart of someone to start the idea of building Valour Place in Edmonton for this cause. And somebody else said, you know what, we need to use the social media to create support systems so people from across the country can uphold one another and give advice and share their frustrations through these Facebook groups. Absolutely incredible. These gifts that are out there. My question today is, if if I'm a priest and I'm supposed to pay attention to these things, and I'm usually aware of what's around me when it comes to my communities about what's available and who offers what resources, so I can share those resources with people who come to me in need. But I'm just realizing how narrow my vision has been, how many things are out there that are available to be unexpected graces for other people. So, what about you? What resources do you need in your life? I imagine all of us have those moments when we think, I wish I had a group to talk to. I wish I had someone to lean on. Even if we're strong and nothing's going wrong, there are times when it's just like, oh, I'm tired. I need some help. I need somebody to talk to. Who are those who are those groups that you could reach out to? Is there a place like Valour Place in your community that you could do some work for? Maybe go participate in a fundraiser for them or volunteer. Valour Place has volunteers where people come in and they do the cleaning and they check on things and make sure everybody's okay. And they just sort of take care of the place. They don't have very much staff at all, and yet it is run so professionally. Maybe there's a situation like that in your neighborhood that you could get involved with, or maybe there's a group or a place like that that you need, that you could reach out to help, to ask for help. Where are those places like Valour Place or Ronald McDonald House or Shriners Hospitals and things like that? Places that seem to be outside of your sphere, not nothing you really think about because you've never needed it. But maybe you will one day, or maybe you'll know somebody who will, and you'll have the information, or you'll be able to say, I participated in that. I helped them with that. How can you give back to your community, whether or not you've received from your community? I'm only beginning to learn that those things that I have taken for granted, those moments when I have thought, I'll never need that. Well, guess what? I'm gobsmacked. I need it so much. I need Valour Place. I need that Facebook group for supporters, for those who give, who are caregivers. I need a person to person, like an Al Anon for heart and stroke patient caregivers, somebody I can sit face to face with and say, oh my God, I need help. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to think. I don't know how to feel. I don't know if there's one out there, but you know what? Now that my eyes are opened, if there is, I'll find it. How about you? What do you need to look for? Or what can you tell others about? What are those unexpected opportunities that you have in your world that maybe you don't know yet about yet, or maybe you do and you could share with another? Our world is a beautiful, beautiful world, regardless of what's happening in it. There are so many things, so many graces, so many wonderful opportunities available for all of us, but we just have to be open to seeing them and then acting on them. I hope you can do that today or in the near future. And a huge shout out to Valour Place and all of those places across our country and on this continent that reach out and help families like mine, military or first responder families who find themselves in times of need. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you, citizens of both our countries, who contribute, whether it's through your taxes or through just your volunteering or your donations, that make places like that possible. Because as someone who's now had to receive help, trust me, it makes a world of difference. Have a valorous day. Have a great day. God bless you, and may God help you to see the many ways that you are a blessing and a grace to other people. I'll see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel.